ActionAid Zimbabwe launched its country's strategic plan for 2014 to 2018 on the 6th of November 2013, titled Strengthening Citizens' Actions Against Poverty. The plan impressed on the organization's commitment to mitigating gender-based violence, poverty alleviation, encouraging sustainable agriculture, and empowering women and the girl child through sexual reproductive health, education, and capacity building programs. The guest of honor, Mr. Chikandiwa, who is Deputy Director of Community Services in the Ministry of Women's Affairs, Gender and Community Development, officially launched the strategic plan.
I wish to applaud ActionAid Zimbabwe for implementing programs that are in line with both my ministry and the national agenda at large. It is now my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to declare the ActionAid Zimbabwe country strategy plan for 2014-2018 officially launched. I thank you.
In a speech read on behalf by Mr. Chikandiwa, Minister of Women's Affairs, Gender and Community Development, Opamu Chinguri, applauded ActionAid for coming up with a strategic plan that is in line with the ministry's programs as guided by the National Gender Policy.
All ActionAid Zimbabwe's work will center on women and the girl child. Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to say that ActionAid Zimbabwe is focused on putting women and girls at the center of their work. Resonates with my ministry's agenda as guided by the National Gender Policy 2013-2017. Only last week, on 30 October 2013, the Minister of Women Affairs, Gender and Community Development officially launched in Bindura the Rural Women's Assembly for Zimbabwe, where ActionAid Zimbabwe is a major player.
The head of programs and policy for ActionAid, Mr. Philemon Matsotso Jazi, gave a prelude of the strategic plan and the organization's areas of focus.
So we went through an internal participatory review and reflection processes that included our partners and communities in which we are working with. Then we also had external independent reviews to check on the impact of our interim country strategy. That's last year. Then we also relied on baseline survey reports from other organizations, situation reports, midterm and end of project evaluation reports from our own projects, but from other organizations' projects, so that we could draw lessons and compare in terms of what we can learn for our 5-year strategy paper. The process also involved participation of our own staff. We value our staff in terms of their input, in terms of ownership. So you find this strategy is a product of input from our staff, all functions, from administration to finance to programs to sponsorship, as well as our partners. So the strategic choices as a result of the review processes, the strategic choices that we have made are around 3 areas. That is in relation to the global strategy that Charles and Olitayo referred to. As ActionAid in Zimbabwe, we want to work around promoting sustainable agriculture and control over natural resources for people living in poverty as one of our key strategic area. We also want to advance the political influence of people living in poverty to hold governments and corporates accountable. Then thirdly, we want to ensure that women and girls can break the cycle of poverty and violence.
Further presentations on the goals of the strategic plan were done by the ActionAid Ladies team.
Our key areas of intervention under KCP1 will include securing enhanced women's rights and legal entitlements to land and natural resources, promoting climate resilient sustainable agriculture for improved food and livelihood security, building people's resilience to climate change and localized natural hazards, and strengthening emergency response and disaster risk reduction. As part of the CRC strategy, we are going to work in collaboration with farmer organizations, indigenous communities, local NGOs, UN bodies, research institutions, other international NGOs, government, traditional and local leaders, and our work will hinge on the HRBA according to what Phil says.
Second strategic objective of our strategic plan is to advance the influence of 153,000 adults, women, young women, men and children, and other people living in poverty in Zimbabwe to hold governments, I'm talking of local government and central government and corporates accountable. Can we move on to the next slide? Thank you. Our key change promise, what we promised to do as ActionAid by 2018, is that through holding local and central governments accountable to service delivery, ActionAid and its partners, who are very important to us, will facilitate improvements in the quality, equity, gender responsiveness of public services for 340,000 adult women, young women, and children, and other people living in poverty in selected 400 peri-urban, rural wards.
The gender-based violence strategy by the Ministry of Women's Affairs, Gender and Community Development highlights that gender-based violence is a matter of concern. It's really high in Zimbabwe. And the demographic health survey also states that 42% of women have experienced violence in their lives. The biggest problem is we don't want to normalize gender-based violence. We read about, even apart from these documents, if we just read the newspapers every week, we read a lot about gender-based violence.
You must be saying to yourself, ActionAid has a very ambitious strategy. ActionAid plans to do a lot, but how will they do it? Well, we're very confident that we're going to be able to do it, because besides supporting these 3 strategic objectives, we'll also be supporting 4 organizational priorities. I'm not going to go into detail about our organizational priorities because definitely they'll be unveiled to you, but I'm quickly going to share them with you. Our first organizational priority will be deepening the impact of our work by having an effective framework that ensures integration, coherence, and quality at all levels. Our second organizational priority will be to diversify and raise our income by £15 million by 2018. And our third organizational priority, which will be no surprise to you, is increasing our people power, valuing our staff, and specifically investing in women's leadership. I'm sure by now you've recognized that the empowerment of women is an ongoing theme in ActionAid, and we believe in walking the talk. And that is why so many women occupy high-level positions within our very own organization.
The strategic plan launch was graced by non-governmental organizations, embassy representatives, government officials, ActionAid regional and international representatives, and the local media.